Hi, guys. Oh, drats. I forgot to have a theme song to start this whole thing off. Well, maybe you're happy about that. It's good to see you. I don't really see you, but I'm pretending I see you. I'm excited about today's lesson. It's fun, but I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I'm having technical difficulties, so expect some awkward moments where I'm like going to click out of the Google Slides and then switch over to the document camera to project. You'd think it would be one click, and it was last week. Why it's all of a sudden not a click? I don't know. I'm lucky to be here, everybody. So we'll make it work. Just it's not going to be as smooth and professional looking as I wish it was. Speaking of professionals, you're like halfway to becoming a professional artist. I'm sure of it. So let's start off together. Repeat after me. I am an artist. I am a creator of ideas and solver of problems. Sometimes the problems are on my paper. Sometimes they're with my neighbor. Sometimes they're inside of myself. But I know I can solve problems because mistakes are opportunities to learn and grow. And I'm proud to be an artist. And I'm proud of you. As far as supplies today, definitely a piece of paper and a pencil. I hope you still have some of that white paper left that I gave you, but if not, any paper will work. I am thinking ahead about actually adding some color. So I grabbed some markers also. Remember the flares? These are kind of a pointed marker. So that would be my advice. I'm looking right now to see if I have this would be really tough. Like a big thick marker would be tough, but a pointy tipped marker would be much easier. That or colored pencils, because with colored pencil you're going to get a finer line, and I think you're going to need it for today. The whole project can be done simply with a pencil, because we're going to talk about, let me just get there. We're going to talk about adding in lines, and the directions of the lines will determine the form or the shape of something. And you might be going, poor Miss Danielson. We did this last year, but I don't know if I have the heart to tell her. She's just repeating the same thing. I know. We're not doing the exact same thing. I just put this picture up here. Do you remember these from last year? Oh, you guys knocked it out of the park. We had all these random tracers, whether they were cups or lids or something, or a ton of people, anytime you wanted a straight edge for either just a line or a shape, we used rulers. We had all those little geometric shapes. I don't have any of those here. I should have brought some home. We used tons of tracers. Anything we could think of that we liked the outside shape of it, we used for tracers, and then we created tons of different patterns. And then some of you, I actually made copies of yours if you're some of the early finishers. And then there was a second project. Remember, we had it all over the carpet area, and we used each other's designs, not the originals, but the copies. And you cut them up, and then you created a collage. And some of them turned out like optical illusions, and they were beautiful. And the whole thing was limited to black and white lines and shapes. They were phenomenal. So what we're doing today is not completely unfamiliar. It's similar to this, but then we're taking it up a notch because you're a year older. Fun, huh? So optical illusions are something we spent quite a bit of time on last year. We even started this year with them too. So the cool thing about this is, first of all, those of you that love to take a flat shape and make it look like, what do you guys call them in math? A figure, 3D figure. In art, we call them forms. So it's that three-dimensional. It's me taking, oh gosh, I'm probably going to spill. It's me taking this can of water. It's a circle. Nope, it's a cylinder. So depending on the flatness of the shape, here's a coaster. It's a square. No, it's a rectangular solid because it's actually 3D. Another one. It's a circle. No, it's a lip gloss. No, it's a cylinder. It's that three-dimensional. So once it gives it form and you could walk around it, it has some substance. It's not just a flat piece of paper. Then it's going to show multiple sides. So Many of you already know how to draw a cube. If you don't, I've got a couple tricks on how to show you that, which is just kind of fun as a doodle. But we're also going to play around with the parallel lines and the directions of those lines in order to make the whole thing really look like it's three-dimensional. All right, quit explaining it. Let's just get to it. So here are some examples of what I was just talking about. Circle becomes a cylinder. Rectangle or square become the cube or rectangular solid. Trapezoidal solid? Is that what it would be called? I don't know. I don't know what would happen if this was actually 3D and it had lines that extended out, and like, I'm sure it exists, but I don't know what the name is. There's a sphere. Oh, a sphere could also be the circle. The triangle tends to become the cone, although if you're looking at the bottom of the cone, that's going to be the shape would be a circle. So you can play around with flat to three-dimensional. And then in art, as drawing, we're just creating the illusion of three-dimensional because the drawing will still be flat. We're not all of a sudden creating a sculpture that stands out or protrudes or is recessed, like sticks back, but it's the illusion. So I'm just going to remind you of this. We watched it. Did we watch this last week or a couple weeks ago? It's all starting to blur, you guys. Anyway, this is the 50-some second video, so it's okay to watch it again. 37. Oh, and I have it muted.
Is a three-dimensional shape, or the illusion of a three-dimensional shape. A form can be any object that has volume to it, or a form can be a drawing or painting of an object that looks like it has volume. Artists use different techniques to create the illusion of three-dimensional forms in two-dimensional spaces. For example, this artist used value and linear perspective to create the illusion of form in this drawing.
Pretty simple. Except that I had it muted at the beginning, but you get it.
Form. In art, a form is...
I did not mean for that to happen, but it was good we got to see the parts that we didn't see before. Okay, so this is back to second grade if you're with me. We have straight line types. We have horizontal, vertical. Oops, that doesn't look vertical. There we go, vertical. And then diagonal. Disco dance, D for diagonal. So using those straight lines, we're going to be able to create not just the cube, but also the parallel lines that go inside of that. Parallel? What am I doing all this math for today? Yeah, parallel can be defined as two lines on the same plane, not the airplane, the same surface, that are equal distance from each other and never meet. I mean, fingers crossed that they're equal distance. We're not going to be that particular where we're like measuring anything. So I will pretend that these two are lines. They are parallel. They are intersecting. They are parallel. So as they travel, now it does look like they're on a plane. They stay next to each other, but they don't touch. As you can see in the picture, and you can see in the diagrams that are right out of your math book, actually. The arrows are just showing you that they can extend forever. Infinite, actually. So how we're going to put those into play? Oh, look, you guys, I just noticed. This is always in the bottom of my slides. There's a fantastic example of 3D forms. Let me go back a slide and see if it shows up. There it is. I don't know how many sides that has. I'm going to guess a ton. I don't even know because I've never counted it. And I could do a math problem and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I think you're guessing to see how many angles that is. I don't know. Okay, now I'm just getting weird. Speaking of, this is the awkward moment where I'm going to switch from one camera to the other. So I'm going to try just pausing the Screencastify so that you don't have to know that I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing. It's just awkward. Hold on. Please hold. All right, that did not work like I wanted it to. I had it, and then the play button disappeared. But at least I got rid of some of the awkwardness. So that wasn't that bad. All right, now I'm going to flip it. Oops, close it, flip it, focus it, and then we'll be golden and ready to draw. Whoa, unless I do that. Okay, now I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to do like the final project, but I'm also going to show you a few different ways that I like to draw cubes. So if you only have one piece of paper, that's okay. If you have one like semi-nice piece of paper and one scratch piece of paper, that's cool too. In fact, why don't I do that? I'm going to save myself a piece of paper. So this one I'm going to use for my actual project. I just grabbed some sticky notes. I could have grabbed some out of recycle. I could have grabbed, who knows, like this random piece of paper that I have notes written all over. But this will work. So what to do? I have like three ways that I like to draw cubes. The first one, and I'm not using a ruler right now because I'm just practicing. First one is to draw your shape. In this case, it's a square-ish. Now I'm going to go off of my corners diagonally. So this one's about a 45-degree angle. So I'm off of one corner, the second corner, not this one. You could do that, but then it would make it look transparent or see-through. So I'm going to go off of this one, not this one, because otherwise it would go into the shape, but I do need to go off of this one. So typically for a four-sided figure, you're going to go find three corners and draw your diagonal. Now the parallel. So vertical, vertical, vertical. That's how I close that up. And it doesn't mean, ooh, see, I kind of messed up. It doesn't mean that your diagonals will be the right length. Sometimes I find my diagonals like way out here, and then I connect it, which makes it awkward. So you might have to do a little bit of erasing to make sure your ends match up and have the vertical or the horizontal. So what I mean horizontal, here we go. Horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. So if you look closely, I didn't hit the end because the end was a little too long. It would have made it more diagonal. So that's one way I like to do it. So how did I do it again? Square, corner, 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 close it up. That's terrible. Don't do that. What's another one? Another one I like to do is capital letter Y. Although this is a little wonky. Whoops. Capital letter Y. Ooh, I gotta fix it. I have to fix it. There we go. My angles were off. Then diagonal, and then diagonal. I bet you're going to know what I'm going to do next. Diagonal, diagonal. Okay, we're getting there. This one's probably a little harder. Vertical, vertical. I did not hit the ends because I was super wonky. Is it coming? Is it emerging in your eyes? And then vertical. Now, I could stop right now and I just taught you how to draw a little magazine or a book or something. Or turn it this way and it's your Chromebook. Look at that. That was a bonus today. And now, diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. All of these are parallel. Diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. And we just closed it up. So that's the other way. Probably the easiest. The third way, things are happening. The third way is transparent. So I'm going to draw two squares really kind of lightly. There's one. And then here's another. Now, how do I know where to put the second one? I'm kind of guessing the middle corner. The upper corner is going to match the middle of my bottom square. So bottom square, find the center. That's where you start the corner of your other one. Oh, my phone's blown up. Now connect. Holy cow, you guys. Nobody ever calls or texts me this much. Should have had it on silent. So square inside the square. Now these lines we need to erase. So those of you that are like, I don't have an eraser at home. My dog ate it, which is possible. Maybe this is not your way. So chances are you're going to go back to this one, and that might be your chosen one. Or not. Maybe you have a different one. Okay, so that said, now we want to draw it kind of enlarged on our final copy paper. If you want to be perfection, use some kind of a straight edge or a ruler. And I grabbed this, literally grabbed it out of the recycling bin. It's kind of a piece of thin cardboard. If I don't have a ruler, I take something that has a straight edge. I could have grabbed a book. Sometimes I just make my own. So this straight edge is going to be just as useful as this straight edge. there's nothing magical about a ruler when we don't really care about the numbers. I just wanted something nice to draw my lines, but I'll be honest, I'm going to go for speed right now because you're probably like, quit talking and just let me draw. So I'm going to draw my cube, and I'm kind of sketching it, knowing that I'm not going to be perfectly vertical or perfectly horizontal right now. I'm not even perfectly even, to tell you the truth. And then I'm going to come up, diagonal, 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 horizontal, horizontal. So there we go. I sketched it, which meant you saw me kind of almost drawing like feather lines. You can see how it's like, it took me 2 lines to draw 1 line, which maybe is extra work. I could now come in with the straight edge or the ruler and fix that. And make sure that I'm actually accurate and my horizontals are horizontal, my verticals are vertical. And keep going. At this point, I hope you're drawing and not just watching me, because that would be a snooze. Okay, once you get your cube, and at this point, if you're not done, you can pause me and finish yours, then unpause me. So I've got my cube. Now, what I noticed in the other picture, I want to go back, but I don't trust my tech skills right now. What I noticed is they also kind of had like a line that almost represented like the table or whatever this thing is sitting on. So you could add that too. I feel like there was another line up here. Oh, I should have looked at that closer. I'm going to go for it on this one though, because this will be cool. And then we'll click over, and if we can add it if we want. Plus, you probably have looked. Okay, I got to silence this thing. Sorry, guys. Driving me bananas. Now, this is when I would probably switch to color, but you don't have to. If you look at that example, they had each surface. So front, top, side, the lines were going a different direction. If on the front, the square is now going to be the front, I'm going to make my lines vertical. So I happen to be using the straight edge and a marker. Maybe you're just using straight edge and a pencil. Maybe you're using straight edge and a colored pencil. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're just watching me going, I miss her. All of her fabulous jokes. No, I don't think you're probably doing that. So those are okay. Do you think I can squeeze some more in between? I think so. I think I could squeeze in more, and it would probably definitely make it have more of an impact. It's going to look cooler, in other words. So I think I'm going to squeeze in 2 in that space. Again, I'm not measuring. Those of you that have known me for a few years, you know I'm not up for accuracy when I can guess. Now, I could keep going and it would look phenomenal. If you keep squeezing into those open spaces, it's going to look so cool. But I'm going to now either use my same marker, or if you feel like a little variety, and that's what the example looked like, you could switch colors. Switching color pencil or marker is cool. So I think what's making sense to me is just follow the lines. So this is now the top. I've decided the top, this could be trickier, is going to be parallel. Are my lines matching my orange ones? Probably not. Could they? Yeah, if I really took the time. They could. You guys, I'm also watching the clock. And I'm supposed to be in a meeting, like in 3 minutes. So first of all, I'm going to be late. Second of all, I want to keep working on this. This is how you feel, isn't it? All of your Zooms and you like don't have time to do the thing you want to do. Well, the cool thing is we can always come back to things. Okay, so there we go. Not my best work. Plus, I'm realizing I'm using a water-soluble marker, and so it wasn't dry, and then I was sliding the ruler over it. So if you look close, you'll see some fuzzy blue, but you'll forgive me. All right, now this is a different marker. It's going to have a thicker tip, so fingers crossed. On this one, I am going to go, which one am I missing? There's 3 types of straight lines. I have vertical, diagonal. Which one am I missing, you guys? Horizontal. There's the answer. And I actually wish I had done horizontal here, but I'm gonna make it work. It's gonna look a little wonky because I don't have the line next to it. It's horizontal. So I'm just gonna start in a corner, moving my straight edge, parallel lines. I'm trying to pay attention, trying to stop at the pencil and stop at the orange. Am I successful? Maybe. There's a huge possibility I'm probably going outside or inside to the space I'm not supposed to be in. Parallel, parallel, parallel. Oh, I'm almost running out of space. There we go. Cool. Oh, squeeze in some more. What a risk taker. I'm not even using my ruler right now. Living on the edge. Kind of cool. I messed that one up. It almost looks like that's open now. Isn't it weird? It almost looks like the box is now open. Like you could put something in there. Maybe that's a bonus. I don't know. Now, if I wanted to hide the messiness of there, I mean, I'm not telling you any tricks that you don't already know from our days together. Oops. You guys almost tried to put the lip gloss on it. Black marker. So I could easily take this, hide. Oh, could easily, except for it's dead. I can hide my lines underneath there. Not too bad. I'd find a different marker. It didn't have to be black. Any dark color would have worked. So maybe you're not as flawless, neither one of us, as the picture in the example. So we cheat and we outline. In fact, I'll be honest, I think I'd like to create some kind of a pattern on this surface and on the background wall, kind of like they did in the example. But time's a ticking. I'm running out. I'll do this just to have it look like, if I never got back to this project again, which I'm totally going to do. I'm probably going to do it during my meeting, hoping that no other adult sees me drawing. There we go. But if I never came back to this, I think it looks good. Oops, I forgot a line. 2 lines. I think it looks okay. If I took more time on it, I think it would look fantastic. So same goes for you. If you can get this far, cool. It looks cool. We still learned the things we were trying to learn. Shape to form, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, and then parallel. But I'm going to keep playing around with this background area. I might even put, put in some more shapes back there just to play around. Because I can, right? We all can. Okay, so as always, you've got the video on slide 1, but I'll leave the other slides in there in case you maybe want to change and you don't want to do a rectangular solid because you want to try something different, like a pyramid would be cool. Plus, you probably want to see the example since your art teacher messed it up. The other one is better. So let me close out. And how do we do compared to this one? Oh, they started with diagonal in the front. And I did vertical in the front. Can you even see that? There you go. And then, yeah, I like the way they divided up the background. So that's kind of what I think I want to do now. Just play around with that space and some more parallels. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me. As always, take pictures, email them to me, or drop the pictures of these into your individual slides presentation. It's at the very top of Google Classroom. If you click on the classwork, very top, I've moved it. It should say your name, my artwork. Not your name, but you know, your name. You know what I mean? All right, have fun. Take care. Learn a lot.